So I want to describe an experience I had at Starbucks last night. I was on some 4-ACO DMT, and I was having some really intense feelings of empathy towards people, and I had to leave because a really sad song came on the radio, but I was staring at the table, and the grain in the wood began to move and swim, much like breathing, but underneath it, underneath the patterns in the wood, were these colors that were just symbolic and seemed to describe a story that was happening somewhere else. And I sat outside before that and was totally fine and of sound mind for most of the night. But the colors of everything were so weird. Everything was darker, but not in the sense that there was less light. It was as though everything were colored from the perspective of an illustrator of a child's book, and they're trying to do all this brown, yellow, natural coloring with like a movie set light brightness and the artificial light, but completely dark, natural light. And so it created this jungle vibe. And everything gets all spatial. It was very reminiscent of mushrooms. Very, very reminiscent of mushrooms. In the sense that I could really feel myself there in the moment. There was no space for anxiety or imaginary things that I might fantasize about or hypothesize about or assume. It was just me and the moment. I'm trying to remember any significant visuals other than the ones in the table. A lot of heavy feelings coming on, obviously. And definitely beyond color enhancements. I mean, I didn't really have to coax anything at all. In fact, if I had needed to, I would have gone the other way with it, honestly. But definitely a few moments. I can't really conjure any details right now other than the ones that I've already given, so I think I'm going to end this video. But I don't want to forget that, because they're the same sort of colors that one would see, you know, in like CGI movie where they go into a dream and suddenly, or like Avatar, but they were underneath. Somehow I could still see the things that they were underneath, which I think is interesting. I didn't really have any free-form hallucinations or any visuals that were, disconnected from the things I was looking at. And I had a couple things I had to do that got in the way of being able to, get something deep. But it was a very more immersed experience than my most recent one, where I had a closed eye visual of a tiki face come into my blackness and then turned into a video game that I was able to play for about 10 or 15 seconds with all these different colored lights and stuff. But I felt totally immersed. I'd say that the 4-ACO has no cross tolerance with mushrooms, because I had just taken not a lot, but I had taken a significant amount of mushrooms that week and had one bag of these mushroom gummies. And then next thing you know, I was there for a few hours. 10 out of 10 would recommend, but not for human consumption, though.